I remember hearing this story like it was earlier today, but in fact, it was years ago when I was a preteen kid. An older kid, call him Calvin, who rode the bus to school with us, had drowned while fishing near a dam as the undercurrent drug him under the water. His body was found later. Anyway, the story was that shortly before he drowned, his mother experienced something a few nights prior. She said had seen an image of a being at the foot of his bed one night as he slept. As she went to speak, the image turned towards her and shh at her. She later told her husband, who dismissed it as nothing more than seeing things. After Calvin died, she again told her husband the story. At that moment, she realized who the image was. It was her brother, Calvin's uncle, who had drowned a few years prior. He often took Calvin fishing when he was a young kid. I'll add another, more recent. My brother and his wife live near a cemetery and have shown me video from their phones of where these small floating lights will flow through their house while they sit and watch TV in the evenings. They believe it to be children from the cemetery who come to play with their granddaughter whenever she visits. The way that they usually notice the floating lights will be their dogs staring off at a random corner or direction in the house, either growling or barking. It's happened about a dozen or so times, and they've caught it on their phones a few times. So I have lived in this house my whole life, and it is a paranormal magnet, kind of like a hotel for ghosts. Not because the house, but because me and my grandpa live here. My grandpa's side of the family have some spiritual connection. No one knows how it happened, but they do. Every gift has its pros and cons. My grandpa can see things. Sometimes it's nice when you get to see a past relative or sometimes even an angel, but then there are the bad things such as demons and entities. I have a few when I was younger. Somehow I could predict stuff, like I would randomly say, "Uncle is coming," and he would show up sometime later. I could also see family members. I was too young to remember, but my parents told me I also feed off energy and can easily tell if something is good or bad. But sometimes if I'm around someone bad, I can become sick. So now that I've explained that, let me tell you a few stories. This one takes place when I was around 5, slept in a mattress with my mom and 3 siblings. We were poor. The only reason my house is big is because my family built it. I woke up and noticed a shadow of a man in front of me. I turned around and couldn't find anything that would make that shape, but I told it hi and fell back asleep. Another was after I got my own bed. I woke up in the middle of the night and felt someone sit on the edge of the bed and put their hand on my shoulder, then get up and leave. I fell back asleep and asked everyone in the morning, and no one had done that. I have a few more, but once I type a lot, Reddit lags and it's annoying. But if y'all are interested in learning more about my life and even hearing some of my grandpa's stories, tell me. I've always wanted to tell people about this stuff, but when I do, they accuse my whole family being insane, so why not tell a bunch of internet strangers? Bye, hope y'all have a nice day. 3.